So we are officially in daylight savings time.
We are.
We're here.
We are.
So we are recording an hour later than usual
That's
as a
right.
buffer to adjust. Actually, relative to the sun, it's the exact same time we usually record, but relative to the clock, it's an hour later, right?
I'm confused. Sorry.
We recorded an hour later than usual,
That's right.
according to the clock,
Right.
which means we're recording the same time relative to the sun.
Okay.
Get it?
Okay.
The sun is the same place in the sky that it normally is when we record.
Okay.
Okay.
It shouldn't be.
Do you want to keep daylight savings time?
Yeah, I was surprised. I'm surprised. I put, I put it like a Facebook post out or tweet
Yeah.
and about daylight savings time. So let's change it. Let's enjoy it.
Make it permanent.
And let's make it permanent.
Yeah.
I was surprised that, first of all, I was surprised that it was a news story. I didn't know. I then put on the news and everybody's talking about it. Even Trump's talking about it. I guess they're asking him about it. But I didn't know that it was a big news story. And people are responding to me. It's like, no, keep
standard time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that everyone...
Thought that everybody liked daylight savings
because
time
it's
and wants
so
to keep it.
obviously so much better.
There are a few things about this. There's this, Trump said that he was going to end daylight savings time, and people interpreted this different ways. Some people said it means he's going to make it permanent.
Yeah.
Other people said it means he's going to make standard time permanent. And most people, or a lot of people, enough people to matter, don't know which is which.
Can I just
And
stop?
that's the biggest problem with the whole thing. People don't know which is which.
When he said that, if he said that, that was a misnomer, because it seemed to me it was, because anyone with any common sense, and Trump has a lot of common sense, would know we should have daylight savings time as our permanent time.
Right.
That should be the new standard time.
Yeah, because you would think everybody wants a little bit more light later.
Right.
Nobody likes the 4 p.m. sunsets.
I don't know why people would want it any other way.
Okay. People claim it's because the sun is going to rise too late in the day in the winter. Now, we're in Massachusetts, and the latest sunrise we have is like just after 7 o'clock in the morning. So for us in the winter, that's like early January. For us, that'd be like 8 a.m. if we kept permanent daylight savings time.
Okay.
Which is like not that bad, I guess.
No, it's not that
If you
bad.
get up at like 6, you probably don't like it though. But I think in other places, like places in Ohio and stuff like, because we stagger, we have like dividers where the clock jumps every few states when you travel west, right?
Sure.
So not everybody's on the exact same time relative to the sun. It's like 8 o'clock looks later for some people in one state than it does for another. So I think in places like Ohio and other places, the sun wouldn't rise until like almost 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And people are really against that. Everybody says the school children. It's about the school children.
I don't think they care that much about the school children, honestly.
Did you know that, you should remember this, this was tried before in like 1975. Do you remember that? I wasn't alive, were you? You were alive.
Yeah, I was alive.
Yeah. Do you remember it?
No.
Okay.
75.
Nixon signed a bill in 1975 that
I was in high school.
Nixon signed a bill in 1975 that made daylight savings time permanent for 2 years as a trial.
Oh.
And
why don't I remember that?
You don't remember it because it only lasted 10 months and it got repealed.
Oh, okay.
And going in, a majority of people supported it.
Yeah.
And by a few months in, a majority of people wanted it to end.
Really? Why?
Because they say it's because people hated the cold, dark winter mornings so much. It was like, no, we can't take it. We thought we'd like it. It's when you look at it, the way they write about it is as if everybody thought it was a good idea, and then everybody realized, no, it's just too dark in the morning. We hate it. Let's get rid of it.
I don't care that it's dark in the morning.
I know, and they cite as an example 8 school children that were hit by cars, after the bill went into law.
Yeah,
and in the morning. And they use that as the example. See, it was a bad idea. It's bad for public safety.
The bill killed children.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Nixon killed children.
Of course, my first
Nixon is a child killer.
Yeah, my first question is always for stuff like this. Okay, is that more children than there would have been otherwise?
Yeah, right.
Like, is that an actual increase?
Yeah.
Or because they love to just focus on things that happen anyway.
I'm so glad that you studied statistics.
Well, they love to focus on things that happened. And this isn't even stats. This is just like manipulation of the public, of public opinion.
Right.
They focus on stats excuse me, they focus on things that happen anyway. Whenever they want to make a point, they want to change people's opinion about something.
Of course.
So it's like, I don't know, like they'll do the children in cages for Trump with the border. Like, look, it's like, well, Obama did it and you just didn't focus on it. Now you focus on it and you make it, you make your coverage correlate to what you want, to what's going on. So you make people think one way or another about something.
Right. It's very common. They do that all the time.
Yeah. So I don't know if they did that with this or if it was actually a bad idea, but I'm surprised you don't remember it.
Actually,
you did go through a year where you did not have standard time. You had permanent daylight savings.
I don't remember that. I was in high school, 1970. Let's see, 75.
Yeah,
75. I was. I was in 12th.
Were you drinking yet?
Probably.
Well, there you go.
Oh yeah, I was.
Well, there you go.
Well, I was just starting. I mean, yeah, but I had times when I was drinking. I was not drinking. Then I was drinking. I was probably not. I'm pretty sure I was not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You know, but I drank with all my friends and all that kind of stuff. You know. Yeah. Definitely,
so did you see what Trump said about daylight savings?
No. So what did he say?
Okay, here I have a clip. We can watch it. This is what he said.
I saw something, but
clocks are going to spring forward on Sunday. When are you going to get rid of daylight savings?
Okay, are you ready? So this should be the easiest one of all, but it's a 50-50 issue. And if something's a 50-50 issue, it's hard to get excited about it. I assume people would like to have more light later, but some people want to have more light earlier because they don't want to take their kids to school in the dark. And it's a little bit one way, but it's very much a 50-50 issue. And it's something I can do, but a lot of people like it one way, a lot of people like it the other way. It's very even. And usually I find when that's the case, what else do we have to do?
Clocks are going to spring forward on Sunday.
And he's right. Yeah, you would assume that that's the case.
Yeah, you
wanted to yeah, it's not. It's not only in the summertime, but it's first of all, I think it's healthier because everyone's getting more sunshine and getting more vitamin D.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, in the winter.
And in the winter and the summer, because
in the summer we have it anyway. But yes.
Well, yeah, for myself, as you know, because we have done it together. I like to go on beach walks. I like to go at night.
Yeah.
I like to go late.
Yeah.
It's getting dark because that's a good time to go. And you get more sun that way. You don't get a whole lot of vitamin D when the sun is that low in the sky, but you do get some.
It's also good for, it's good. Your body changes. Your body reacts to it. It's better for going to bed. You get a better night's sleep.
And then in the wintertime, everyone's coming home from work in the dark. I mean, it's literally dark at 4 p.m. here.
Right.
So everyone's working and coming home in the dark and traveling subways and traveling streets, and it's dangerous. What about all the adults that get killed because of daylight savings time? Because of standard time.
I really don't believe the stats about like how many
children
casualties it will prevent versus cause, because you're going to have light in the morning or light in the evening.
Right.
Either way, you're going to have darkness sometime while people are traveling.
Yeah. But
Trump obviously wants daylight savings time permanent. Daylight savings time permanent.
That's
based on what he said.
That's what I thought.
Because he says he would assume people want more sun later.
Right.
That's what he says. That's what he thought.
That's what I thought.
And then, but he says, I guess it's 50-50. And his whole thing is he does not do 50-50 things. The whole campaign that he just ran was on picking up easy wins that Democrats were leaving, like no tax on tips. It's like, well, that sounds good to everybody.
Right.
There's not going to be a giant faction of people who come out and say, no, we need to tax those tips. So he says, all right, we'll just do it. No tax on tips. He just granted he officially recognized some Native Indian tribe in North Carolina, the Lumbee tribe, as he officially recognized them as an official Indian tribe. And it's like, okay, well, why do you do that? Well, it was contentious down there, but he knows most people don't care and they're going to love it and they're Trump supporters. So he's like, okay, I'm going to officially recognize you.
Yeah.
So he picks up these easy wins. And when he looks at daylight savings, he's like, oh, I thought this was an easy win. Yeah. That's why he was going to do it. He thought this was easy. He thought everybody would love it.
I thought so too.
And when it turns out there's a pretty large group against it, he's like, well, why would I touch this?
Yeah. Well, now you have to do the right thing, and you have to have real data, real information, and see what really is what will benefit people the most. Right now, the way he's putting it, it's basically you would have to go by a poll. He's like, it's like a stagnant poll.
Here's the problem with polls: is that people don't know which is which.
Yeah, I know.
So when you poll them, you get results. So,
I hear a lot of people. I hear literally people being interviewed on the street saying, "No, we got to get rid of daylight savings time.
Daylight savings time.
And daylight savings time. I want it late now.
Right.
End daylight savings time.
Daylight savings time.
I want the sun to set later."
Yeah, that's what they say.
I'm like,
they say it's
backwards.
It's so dark in the afternoon in the winter. End daylight savings.
I know.
Like, no, it's the opposite.
They're
getting it wrong.
There are a lot of morons
check
on
this
the
out.
street.
So check this out. So
yeah,
Gallup just did a poll. This came out a few days ago, and it was the biggest story one of the biggest stories of the week. And they're saying, "Oh my God, everybody wants to end daylight savings time. End daylight savings time." So now I'm thinking, okay, nobody I've met in real life, maybe 2 people in my real life that I've ever talked to about this have actually said, yes, I want standard time year round, and they know what it meant. And they said, I want it darker in the evenings and I want it lighter in the mornings. That's my position. Like 2 people I've ever met. Everybody else has said, no, I want the sun in the afternoon. Right? I mean, that's probably your experience talking to people.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody complains about it.
I know, but I'm sorry, but when I grew up, everyone knew the difference between Eastern Standard Time and daylight savings time. Everyone knew it.
People know what it means. Like they know what it happens, but I think they get confused about the wording when you just ask them.
Because it's just a word that's thrown around.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, daylight savings time. Oh, daylight savings time.
Right.
So they did this poll, Gallup, and it's like, oh my God, this is the news story, is that people prefer standard time. That's the big news story. There's been a dramatic shift and people love it and they want it. So when we look at this poll, and this gives the change over time, they show, look, let me see if I can zoom in on this a bit.
But how can we trust that they know what they're saying?
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So how can we, how can we trust it? That's exactly right. So what we have here is we have Americans' daylight savings time preferences, and they show the change over time. If we just focus on 2025, we see, wow, 48% say standard time the whole year, including summer. That's what 48% want, standard time the whole year.
Okay.
And only 24% say daylight savings time the whole year, including winter.
Okay.
You think, okay, well then everybody wants standard time, it sounds like. It's like most people.
What are the other people?
And then 19% want to switch.
Switch to what?
Switch halfway through the year.
I see. They want to keep the switch. Okay.
Yeah. But when you read the full question wording, which they give you at the bottom, which of the following would you prefer to have? Daylight savings time the whole year, including winter, daylight savings times part of the year, and standard time part of the year, or standard time the whole year, including summer. So they don't tell you in their wording which is which. They just ask you which you prefer, standard time or daylight savings time.
Right.
So they're not informing people.
Yeah.
So people know which one they prefer in terms of what it does to their day.
What it does, yeah, but they don't know what's called.
Right. That's what I don't
know what this is? This is the education system. It's got to be.
Well, that might be the cause, but what we're looking at here is we're looking at bad wording causing bad results that are going to shift policy.
Right.
That doesn't reflect what people actually think.
That's wrong.
So, okay. And why do I think so strongly that people don't actually know? I'll tell you why. Yeah. So I looked at a YouGov poll, which I have here. This is my own tweet, actually, but let me just open this. And I took a screenshot of the wording that the YouGov poll used. This is from 2023.
What kind of poll is that?
YouGov. It's a polling firm.
Yeah,
You've heard of YouGov?
Sure.
Okay. It's pretty big. They partner with Harvard sometimes.
Right.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, is the United States currently on daylight saving time or permanent standard time?
Yeah.
Only 56% got it right and said daylight savings time.
Wow. That means half the people don't know.
Right. 26% thought we were on permanent standard time.
Wow.
And then 4%, my clock doesn't change because some states, they're like Arizona, their clock doesn't change.
Yeah, it doesn't change.
Okay. 14% didn't know. We're just admitted, I don't know.
This is amazing.
So only 56% got it right.
So half the people don't even know
if we're permanent standard.
They have no idea. You can't poll them. They're uneducated. Their poll won't count.
Their poll is okay. So then we have, you indicated that you would like to eliminate changing the clock. So this was a subgroup that said they do want to eliminate the clock change. What time would you like to make permanent? So these are out of the people who want to get rid of the clock change. Would they like standard or daylight savings? This is the big question, right?
Right.
Permanent daylight savings time. And then they have in parentheses, later sunrises and sunsets, 50%. Permanent standard time, earlier sunrises and sunsets, 31%. So what that tells us is that when you tell the people answering which is later sunrises and which is earlier sunrises and sunsets,
right,
they favor later sunrises and later which is daylight savings.
That's really what they want.
So when you actually tell them which is which, they answer daylight savings.
Right. So that is the right answer.
Yeah. So that Gallup poll from before,
right,
that does not reflect what the public thinks.
Yeah, because literally everyone I know, always said, "Oh, I wish we didn't have to turn the clocks back. I wish we didn't have to turn the clocks back in the fall."
Right.
Everyone
back to standard time.
Yeah. No one I ever met said, "Oh, I can't wait till it gets darker earlier."
Yeah, right.
No one ever did.
Finally, we are going back to what is in sync with nature.
Yeah. So when somebody
where noon reflects the zenith of the sun.
I mean,
that's what standard time is, right?
Right.
That's what I see argued on X. I was actually arguing with the guy. He's like, this does not reflect nature. I'm like, okay, well, neither does the fact that we have
no clock is
neither does the fact that we have electricity and light bulbs in our house now till midnight, but.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
On till midnight. But so I listen, if we didn't have electricity, I would get it. It's like you want standard time. You think noon should reflect exactly when the sun is at the zenith, blah, blah, blah. But we use lights now. We stay up. So we stay up past dark now.
What it's going to come down to? It's going to come down to a political argument now. It's going to come down whatever Trump wants, half the country's going to.
He's not touching this. He's not touching it. He's not touching because either way. It is split.
Yeah,
and. It's enough split that he doesn't want to touch this.
Yeah.
He's like, why? He's like, I'm getting so much done. He's all about approval ratings and where it matters. It's like, I'm going to pick up easy wins for things that don't matter much. This one does not matter that much. It's not an easy win. It's a hard battle to fight. So he's like, why would I do it?
The guy's in the middle of preventing World War III right now.
Yeah.
Why bring this into
right. And this is a contentious topic that doesn't really matter much. Yeah, so he's like, really. Why would I get into it?
Not really. Just leave it going.
He does contentious things.
He'll change it before he gets out of office.
Yeah, maybe. He does contentious things when they matter.
Right.
And he does easy things when they don't matter. That's his strategy. That's how he picks up the approval over the years. So
interesting. Well, I'm glad. I'm looking forward for the first night tonight, it being later.
Yeah, no, I am too.
And it's good till the fall, so I like it.
It is. Yeah. It is. But they do this with the polling all the time. I don't think this maybe this wasn't intentional. It could have been intentional. I mean, if this poll is somehow backed by parent teacher groups and stuff like that, then yeah, the wording is intentionally misleading. But they do that with political polls. Right. They'll do that with, for example, they'll ask you questions that obviously push you in a certain direction.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, do you think January 6th was an insurrection on the Capitol? Do you think Trump's presidency has led to a rise in xenophobia? And then they'll ask you questions like that, which are technically unbiased, but obviously making you think of these negative things. And then they'll say, like, what is your opinion? Like, do you currently approve of the job President Trump is doing? So if you ask that final question after a bunch of questions that framed everything pretty bleak, you get less people willing to say, yes, I approve. And you get more people hesitant to say, I don't know, or no, I don't really approve.
Right.
So that's how they do the polling.
Well, for this poll, I don't know. We know where you go on the poll. So do you feel like you're lacking sleep this morning?
No, because I went out of my way to make sure I went to bed earlier.
You did.
And we actually adjusted our film schedule this morning.
We did.
To make it work. Just for now, just temporarily to kind of give a buffer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but for some reason, I slept a little bit later than I normally do.
Okay.
I don't know why.
You probably didn't.
No, I did. I probably didn't.
right? You did not. You slept.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You slept an hour later, which is actually not
right.
later at all.
I slept an hour later. Yeah, you're right.
It's just the clock jumped forward.
Duh.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we've been talking about for the past, half an hour, 20 minutes.
I forgot.
Right.
Yeah. That's funny.